Okay, we're just going over asexual and sexual reproduction this morning using this PowerPoint. So I'm assuming at this point in time you have a pretty good idea of what's going on with these. First of all, we want you to be able to define asexual reproduction, define sexual reproduction, and describe the differences in the two. The next one, you should be able to do a Venn diagram. You should be able to illustrate and draw fertilization, budding, sexual production, and asexual reproduction, and explain fertilization, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, and write a paragraph explaining the genetic differences in asexual and sexual reproduction. Okay, next, asexual reproduction. We have one parent, we have no sex cells, we have offspring produced by cell division. Offspring are identical DNA to the parent. And there are several types of asexual reproduction in plant and animals. Okay, next. Asexual reproduction, we have binary fission, and with binary fission, the organism divides itself in half. We have two identical daughter cells produced. The daughter cells are half the size of the parent cell. The daughter cells grow and then divide too, and bacteria reproduces like this. There we go, it's in bacteria. Types of asexual reproduction with budding. We have a small bud that grows out of the parent cell. There are two different size cells made with identical DNA, because here would be the smaller, this would be the parent, this would also be a smaller cell. The bud breaks off and grows, and this happens in yeast and hydra. Asexual reproduction regeneration, we grow and repair lost body parts. There are leftover cells, and they divide to make more cells. Lobster, starfish, lizards, earthworms can do this if you cut them in two. Sexual reproduction, you have to have female and male. You have two parents. You have sex cells known as the sperm for male. The egg is in female. The sperm and egg cell join, and that happens during fertilization. And the offspring will look different from the parent because they have half the DNA from the mom, half the DNA from the father. Sexual reproduction. Examples: humans, some plants, mammals, fish, reptiles, etc. Sexual reproduction is a process, fertilization is a process of sexual reproduction where the sperm fertilizes the egg and a new organism will develop. Okay, if you look at this type of reproduction, what is that? You have a parent cell and then you have something growing off from it. You should know that. Here you have a cell and it is dividing in two, and then this cell is significantly smaller than the original cell. You should know what kind that is. Here again, we have one cell and it is forming two. We have one cell and it is forming two. Okay, we have a lizard and it looks like its little tail has come off. Now, this tail will not create a whole new lizard, okay? This will only create a new tail. In smaller organisms like earthworms, then it would create a new exact copy. Okay, Cosby family. Y'all don't remember that, I'm sure. This would be sexual reproduction because you had dad, mom, and then the kiddos. And each kiddo had some characteristics of dad and mom. Okay, if you look at this, again, this type of reproduction, you have a growth happening on the main cell, and then it is breaking off. Here we have one cell. It's going through the process of dividing equally, and then you have two cells that are identical to the first cell. Here again, we have an amoeba. The DNA is copying, the cell body divides, and then you have two daughter cells that are identical. Okay, we've been over this about 10 times now. This type of reproduction, you have the main cell, the DNA divides, and a new cell is growing, and eventually the two cells will separate. Again, you see the process where your two cells, this is amoeba, where the two cells are growing and getting ready to divide. This is a type of regeneration. Again, this lizard leg would not create an entire new lizard. Okay, this would be sexual reproduction because you have sperm and egg. And then we have asexual versus sexual. With sexual, you have one parent. With asexual, you have two parents. And the sperm and egg DNA join, and you end up with a new creation that has characteristics of the sperm and the egg. Have a good day.